Hello, thank you so much for attending this presentation. This is Quarantine Volcanology, a free divulgation learning strategy in Latin America during the first wave of COVID-19 outbreak. So today I will talk about the COVID-19 pandemic arriving to Latin America. How is the reality of Latin America facing this pandemic and natural hazards, which project or which design and structure we have used in this project to solve some issues we realize are present in Latin America, the impact on numbers we have had, the feedback and monitoring we are developing to track the results of this project, the lessons and challenges ahead, and the references. And here you have some pictures of some photos of the Nevado del Ruiz eruption in 1985 with the destruction of Amer in Colombia and the death of about 25,000 people. And more recently, this image in the lower part of the presentation of Volcán de Fuego in Guatemala, which killed about 200 people in a huge eruption in 2018. So the COVID pandemic arrived mainly from flights from Europe to Latin America and to almost all the countries, and has affected all this region. And well, in terms of lethality, it has been not so huge in comparison to Northern Hemisphere and the first hit countries. But at the same time, Latin America has a Gini index, which is higher than the rest of the countries or the rest of the regions. So it means that Latin America is more susceptible to suffer of any kind of natural hazard because is more unequal in this aspect. So in terms of the reality of Latin America, you can see the fatalities are mainly for drugs, mainly as consequence of drugs, earthquakes, epidemics, famine, flood, and also volcanoes, which have killed about 100,000 people in the recent history of this continent. So in the whole continent of South America and part of Central America and the Caribbean islands, you can see that there have been lots of deaths. The impacts of volcanic eruptions have or can be described in a big number of deaths and a big number of homeless people as consequence of those volcanic activities, but also injured people during these eruptions. And the exposure and the number of new incidents of volcanic origin in Latin America is increasing with the time because there is an increasing vulnerability exposure of people to volcanoes as population is rising and the people is living closer to the volcanoes in time. So if you compare the costs of volcanic eruptions in the world, you will see that the costliest volcanic eruptions have occurred in Latin America, including Colombia, Nevado del Ruiz. I have mentioned this before, the Calbuco 2015 eruption and the Tungurahua eruptions in Ecuador, Chichon, Mexico, and Puyehue Cotoncawi also in Chile. So this is a big issue that people living in Latin America has to face daily. And in addition to this condition and inequality, you will see that poverty is generalized in Latin America. Most of the countries are developing countries. So Poverty is generalized, and especially in rural areas, and especially in people under 15 years old. There have been some efforts to show volcanology to the communities, but in this case, the courses that have been provided by some institutions in Latin America and also in Spanish language countries have been more focused on people working on volcano monitoring and not the overall population living near volcanoes. So our idea was to put in the hands of people a new course with new knowledge on volcanoes for free, and try to teach them about volcanic systems. So we designed this course in 3 steps, in 3 big areas. The first one was volcanism, with the general aspects of volcanoes. The second was volcanic hazards, with the main types of hazards and the risk to communities. And then an applied volcanology chapter, which is related to the daily approximations that people may have to volcanoes in different ways. So our course was designed with the help of 14 lecturers with PhD degree, 2 Master in Science, 2 PhD candidates, and 2 health professionals. It was a multinational team with people from Argentina, Chile, Colombia, and Ecuador, and each lecture had a length between 16 and 74 minutes. And there was an option to get an accomplishment of completion if you got the 60% of approval in 3 different tests we did, and we provide to the people, and those tests were together with 3 quizzes that people used to train their knowledge, and there was 1 repetition exam of test 2 that replaced the worst test given by the participants. So this is the platform we have used. Is just YouTube, and we have used another platform for e-learning of geosciences in South America, which is Explorock. Both pages are in Spanish in this case, and you can see the videos and the different lectures there. So in terms of numbers, we have had an overwhelming wave of people coming to this course. About 6,000 people have participated, and you can see that most of the people enrolled in the course was from Chile, from Ecuador, from Mexico and Peru, which are countries that actually have many volcanoes, many active volcanoes. And the participants are about between 20 and 39 years old in general, and their occupations. They are mainly students, but also professionals and some workers without a profession. But also we have unemployed people, which is also trying to learn more skills and have more knowledge on volcanoes to apply on their lives and on their business. So in order to evaluate and have feedback and monitoring of this course, we have been tracking the evaluations of the participants, but also the evaluations to the lecturers. And we have had 2 surveys, one for the entry and one for the exit of the course. And we are using YouTube metrics, but also the metrics in the social media. where we are sharing the contents of the course, and people that has approved the course, which is about the half of people that was enrolled originally. So 3,000 people have approved the course, giving the 3 different tests. They have, well, the 30% have replied a survey, an exit survey, and they say in green, the positive answers, they say that they are able to recognize the types of volcanoes and the types of eruptions, to understand different volcanic hazards, to understand the limitations of volcanology as a science, to understand the role of volcanoes in geoheritage and geotourism, and to understand volcanic hazard maps. So most of the people has been able to get those knowledges to understand this lot of processes. So we have remaining questions right now. For instance, did the participants have previous experiences or skills in volcanology? How often did they attend to this course, considering we were during a pandemic in this course? Which were the main limitations of this course, taking into account the platforms, the format of the course, the skills of the participants with the computers, and what the students need to improve their learning and attendance in the future of these e-learning strategies. So from the point of view of lessons, we have learned that most of the people living near volcanoes is interested in volcanoes, and they are interested in to learn more about this kind of natural phenomena. They are also very interested in online learning. They are able to get access and to take the tests, and this is important, and is complemented with the focus we have designed in this course, which is applied science. So we have included this chapter of applied science in order to be more closer to the people, to make them realize about how those systems act in their daily lives. And people is very interested in free online courses, so they are able to follow those strategies and enrolled in these kind of courses. And which a big challenge that we have right now is how to make people learn about volcanoes in a field context, because volcanology and the earth sciences are more close to the people when we are able to show them the rocks and the volcanoes and the natural formations. But in this case, it hasn't been possible because of the pandemic. So we need to design new strategies to show people the field observations that we use to learn about volcanoes. So this is my presentation. I hope this is informative to you. Thank you so much, and you can ask me any question you have. Thank you.